The merchant's quarter of Station Epsilon 7 hummed with the usual cacophony of 1,000 species, bartering, arguing, and surviving. Among the glittering stalls and humming vessels, 2 human children sat huddled against a rusted bulkhead, invisible to most passers-by. Leo watched his little sister Lisa shiver, her thin arms wrapped around her knees. She was only 7 standard years old, with blonde hair matted from weeks without proper washing, and eyes that had grown too large in her gaunt face. He was 12, and the weight of keeping them both alive pressed down on his shoulders like the gravity of a gas giant. "I'm hungry, Leo." "I know, Lise. I know." He squeezed her hand, trying to transfer warmth he didn't have. Their parents had died 3 months ago, when the colony ship they'd been traveling on suffered a catastrophic core failure. The evacuation had been chaos. Somehow, Leo and Lisa had ended up on this station, lost in the bureaucratic nightmare of interstellar refugee processing. Their case number was 847,293. They'd been told to wait. They were still waiting. Leo's eyes tracked the various aliens moving through the market. The Vexorians with their crystalline exoskeletons, the gaseous Frel, floating in their containment suits, the towering Krell, with their 4 arms and aristocratic bearing. None of them saw 2 human children slowly starving. Then he noticed her. An elderly Quillian woman stood beside a battered cargo transport, her scaled hands manipulating a diagnostic pad with increasing frustration. The Quillians were rare this far from the core world's reptilian beings, known for their long lifespans and longer memories. This one looked ancient even by their standards, her scales dulled to a pale green, her movements slow and deliberate. Leo had learned about ships from his father, who'd been an engineer. He'd learned about desperation from the last 3 months. He stood up, legs unsteady. "Stay here, Lisa. Don't go," she pleaded, gripping his hand. "I'll be right back." He approached the old Quillian, who was now striking her diagnostic pad against her palm, a universal gesture of technological frustration. "Excuse me, ma'am," Leo said, his voice cracking. He cleared his throat and tried again. "I can fix that." The Quillian turned, her amber eyes narrowing as she looked down at the scrawny human boy. "What did you say, child?" "Your ship. The error code on your pad. It's a plasma flow regulator issue. Probably a microfracture in the conduit leading to your secondary thrusters. I can fix it." She studied him for a long moment. "You are, what, 10 standard years? 12. And I'm good with ships. My father taught me." Leo swallowed hard. "I'll fix it for free. I need you to feed my little sister. Please. She hasn't eaten in 2 days." The old Quillian's expression was unreadable. Among her people, children were sacred, protected by the entire community. But humans were different, emotional, short-lived, and often overlooked in the greater galactic community. "Show me your sister," she said finally. Leo led her to where Lisa sat. The little girl looked up with those 2 large eyes, and something flickered across the Quillian's scaled face. "Your parents? Dead. Core failure. On the horizon's promise. Core failure. 250? The Quillian's head lowered slightly, a gesture of respect among her kind. "I am Thesix of the merchant clan Vorath. If you can truly repair my vessel, I will feed you both. And if you are as skilled as you claim, perhaps we can discuss more permanent arrangements." Leo's heart hammered. Thesix led them aboard her ship, and while Lisa sat in the galley with a bowl of nutrient broth, her hands shaking as she sipped, Leo crawled into the engine compartment with a toolkit that was nearly as old as Thesix herself. He found the problem within minutes. The plasma conduit had indeed fractured, just as he'd diagnosed from the error code. But it was worse than he'd thought. The fracture had spread to 3 adjacent systems, creating a cascade failure waiting to happen. If Thesix had attempted to engage faster than light travel, her ship would have torn itself apart. For 3 hours, Leo worked. His hands were small enough to reach into spaces the Quillian's clawed fingers couldn't access. His father's lessons came back to him measure twice, Cut once, always respect the plasma, never force a connection. When he finally emerged, covered in grease and coolant, Thesix was waiting. She ran her diagnostic pad again. Every system showed green. You did not just repair the regulator, she said slowly. You prevented a catastrophic failure. This ship would have killed me. Leo wiped his hands on his already filthy shirt. I know. That's why I fixed the other stuff too. Thesix was silent for a long moment. Then she made a clicking sound. Quillian laughter. You are either the bravest or most foolish human child I have ever encountered. Perhaps both. She placed a scaled hand on his shoulder. I am a merchant, boy. I trade in rare goods across 17 systems. I am also old, and my reflexes are not what they were. I need someone who understands ships, someone who can go where my large body cannot. Are you offering me a job? Leo's voice barely worked. I am offering you and your sister a place on this vessel. I will feed you, clothe you, teach you the trade routes. In exchange, you will maintain my ship and assist with my business. Her amber eyes softened. Among my people, we do not abandon children. This is shameful to me, that you have been left to starve while others profit around you. Leo looked back at Lisa, who had fallen asleep in the galley chair, the empty bowl still clutched in her hands. For the first time in 3 months, she looked peaceful. Yes, he said. Yes, we accept. Thesix clicked again. Humans. Your species is young, reckless, often foolish. But you possess something many older races have lost the ability to survive against impossible odds. To adapt, to persist. She began preparing the ship for departure. Perhaps that is why the galaxy fears you. You do not give up, even when you should. As the ship lifted off from station Epsilon 7, Leo sat beside his sleeping sister and watched the stars appear in the viewport. They had been 2 forgotten children in a galaxy that didn't care about their survival. But humans, as the old Quillian was beginning to understand, had a terrible habit of surviving anyway, and of never forgetting those who had shown them kindness when no one else would. The end.